Really shocking news came out over the weekend when Creed 3 actor Johnathan Marjors was charged with assault and harassment of a woman. Now, bear in mind that very soon after this initial accusation came out, his team came out with statements which we're gonna give you, disputing all of the details of this story. But on Saturday night, a judge granted a limited order of protection, ordered that Marjors be released. And so that was initially what set this up. He was taken into custody after officers responded to a 911 call from a New York City apartment building on Saturday morning. NYPD said in a statement that Marjors was involved in a quote domestic dispute with a 30-year-old woman who told police that she was assaulted. At that point, they had said that she had been strangled. The victim informed police she was assaulted, according to police. Officers placed a 33-year-old male into custody without incident. The victim sustained minor injuries to her head and neck and was removed to an area hospital in stable condition. Well, not long after that, they put out a statement disputing all of these details and say that they have proof that they're not true. Lawyer Priya Chaudhry said Johnathan Marjors is completely innocent and is probably the victim of an altercation with a woman he knows. They said they were quickly gathering evidence to prove his innocence, which includes video footage from the vehicle where this episode took place, witness testimony from the driver and others who both saw and heard the episode, and most importantly, 2 written statements from the woman recanting these allegations. I don't believe that those have been released yet, but supposedly she has put out 2 different statements or has made available to the legal team saying that it didn't happen. They go on to say, the legal team, that the woman, quote, was having an emotional crisis for which she was taken to the hospital, and that Marjors, quote, did not assault her whatsoever. So that's where we currently stand. There's been a little bit of development in terms of some of his, like I guess, work that he'd done. The US Army had him as part of 2 advertisements for their Be All You Can Be campaign that they're saying they're suspending. I don't know if that has developed in the last day, but Francesca, what do you think about this?
I mean, am I in favor of any army propaganda? No, so I'm not shedding a tear over anyone losing a deal for the Be All You Can Be BS. Oh my God, I'm the person in the theater always hissing if you ever show me an army ad before a movie that I want to watch. So that's just an aside there. And Johnathan Marjors is a great actor, so I'm really saddened if this is true, but also TBD. It sounds like it's pretty complicated here, given what the lawyer is saying, and if there are statements that recanted the testimony or that anything happened, but also, who knows? Who knows what's going on? All I will say is that it is very easy and especially if you're a black man, for any police report or allegations to be immediately believed and swallowed hook, line, and sinker, and used as again another reason why black men are whatever violent or whatever the hell they are supposed to be. So I think we have to just be very cautious who we believe and what we believe about whom. And I again, kind of like all things, I just feel like we're in the pundit, hot take industry, and yet oftentimes you just kind of need to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, he's scheduled to appear in court May 8th, which obviously feels like forever when you want to know if this is actually true, especially when they say that they have this proof that it didn't happen. Obviously, I think a lot of people would like to see that. They'd like to know what's to that because, as we pointed out, he's been involved in some major projects. Not only Creed 3, but he's literally like the cornerstone of the next 3 years of the MCU. He's become very big over the last. He just hosted SNL. He was great in Lovecraft Country. Like people are very, concerned. And it's entirely possible that an accusation is made that isn't true, but that can stick around. But as you point out, wouldn't necessarily stick around for other people. Like those social things do happen. I mean, a lot of people pointed out, was it Ezra Miller with the DC EU plays involved in the Flash movie or whatever? Still going forward and all that. Like it is a lot easier for certain people to shake accusations or allegations than others. That said, obviously we've seen a lot of different things like this, and when they say that it's a woman having an emotional breakdown as an explanation for why she accused someone of violence, that doesn't make me feel super comfortable. It doesn't mean that it's not true. It could entirely be true, but I don't love it. So anyway, what I am interested to see is what anyone else who might have been a witness to this or other acts or whatever, that can sometimes help to understand a little bit. There have been some accusations that have been thrown around in the immediate aftermath of these charges. Tim Nicolai is the co-founder of Society Theater, is a Broadway actor, said, "I'm just gonna say this about Johnathan Marjors and be done with it. Folks at Yale and the broader New York City community have known about him for years. He's a sociopath and abuser, and that is how virtually everyone speaks about him. It's a shame it took this long for him to be reported." Now, Tim Nicolai he doesn't give any specific allegations or anything. I don't know what his relationship with was Johnathan Marjors. He's implying that there's some sort of connection there and that many people know this. I have not yet seen many people coming out and saying this. There was another, A.B. Allen is a filmmaker who had made some accusations previous to this stuff coming out back in February about some people being vicious and cruel, and is now saying that Johnathan Marjors is who she's talking about. But again, they're not allegations of specific things being done. So again, we're sort of left with just having to wait to find out what the legal team actually has.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
No, yeah. I think you said it. We just TBD to May, I guess.
Yeah.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.